think the most frustrating thing about us as a society, we're all in the same boat, right? We're all financially stressed, and we're all, you know, like a little vexed at the people that we work for, pretty much. Like, whether you're fully employed, partially employed, or this, that, and the other, you're still kind of selling your time for certain people. And those certain people, you'd be surprised, they're also going through it financially. Small businesses, bigger businesses. I kind of seen any conglomerate like McDonald's or KFC, Sainsbury's, you assume that they're the elite. They're not. They're not. They're serving the elite, but they're not the elite. And it just breaks my heart. I believe whatever we're going through, if we actually try to work together, we could solve something. But realistically, we never do. We just kind of end up fighting each other for the sake of, I guess, clout, I suppose. You'll find most people, they don't even want to acknowledge that we're going through these hard times. You will find people that genuinely do try to cope and be like, "Oh, it's not hard. You're just not trying hard enough or whatever." And you know what? To an extent, I can kind of get where they're coming from. You know, sometimes it is better to have a more positive outlook on things. Sometimes you get more results that way. Don't get me wrong, but there comes a point where you're just burying your head in the sand. There are certain things you can't ignore, and inflation's not going to go down at any point. And it's not normal to have this many homeless people on the street. I agree that homeless people take the piss sometimes, but that's a separate issue. You get me? Is this, there's always been people struggling. There's always been a divide from elite to poor, but it's never been like this, where you can work 2 or 3 jobs, have all this income, possibly, but working 15 hours a day, is it really worth it? No, not really. And we're just supposed to believe this is normal. In my opinion, back in the day, if you worked your ass off, you were doing it out of choice for the sake of more paper. But nowadays, we're working ridiculous hours, and let's be honest, we're also kind of, we have to skirt the system a little bit just to survive. That's what people don't understand, especially over here. And if anyone who is representing the system, I feel like on a spiritual level they do understand our situation, but they're so desperate to survive and feed their families that they will grass you out anyway and put more people out on their ass if they can. And then it's just this never-ending cycle of animosity. The people in our government, I don't even think they alone are as powerful as we think they are. I think they're just puppets. I think they're just foot soldiers. I am, I guarantee you they're a lot more stressed than we give them credit to be. And I do feel like they kind of know that they sold their soul to the devil, but at the end of the day, they did agree to the peace. So I don't know what the solution is. I just know that I am at a point in my life where I just want to quit. I low-key want to check out of society. Not suicide exactly, but sometimes it is like, well, what else are we gonna do, bro? Like, we're expected to basically sell our time, and the people who do, they're not really appreciated for it either. I know for a fact that, like, there's been men in my life that have sacrificed all this time, and they've just been up and left like they were nothing, and still expected to pay the mortgage for the woman who left them. Because, honestly, man, it's not about how hard you work sometimes, it's just about the vibe you give off. And I believe it circles back to the overall inflation thing, in the sense of we're too afraid to just take a leap of faith. You know? We're at a point where it's easier to become self-employed than it is to actually get a job. So with that in mind, whatever ridiculous dream you have, honestly, bro, just bank on it. Just bank on it. I'm gonna do the same. I don't know what it is yet exactly, but all I know is listening to the instruction manual of life, it's getting us nowhere. So take a little bit of initiative and don't be afraid of the stigma of being unemployed, or you're not doing enough in life, or you're not working hard enough. You're not working hard enough. That's a big one people will throw at you if you just don't want to do this anymore, or if you're struggling with mental health issues. I'm not the most sensitive to that mental health shit, by the way. I think some of it is a scam, but this feeling of like, fuck this, bro. Another day where I have to fucking exist. I can't be dealing with this anymore. That's not a sight. Some people came from a time where it was way easier to get a job, and yeah, they worked their ass off, but they had more purchasing power from it. So when they tell you to just get a better job, they don't know quite what they're fucking dealing with. So don't let them get into your head too much, bro. I I spend every day yapping about a potential solution, but I ain't actually got one at the moment. And anyone on the internet who pretends they do, they don't. So honestly, bro, if there's anything to take from this, just don't give up, but also don't fall for the bullshit that there's a happy ending here. Because sometimes you just gotta smile through the pain, but not for someone else. Do it for yourself. And if you have to be a bit of a bum in society eyes to do it, I ain't judging. That's all I'll say.